Billionaire Mark Cuban says Apple deserves a standing ovation for fighting the FBI on encryption. Apple did exactly the right thing, according to Cuban, by refusing a request from the U.S. government to create a backdoor to access a terrorist's locked iPhone. Cuban is quoted as saying, "We must stand up for our rights and free speech and liberty." Cuban heaped praise on Apple and its CEO, Tim Cook, for refusing to comply with the FBI's orders. Kanika, is this an overreach by the U.S. government?
Completely. I mean, this has been like a debate that's been going on for quite a while. We even have Edward Snowden weighed in a while ago about how the big brother watching, the government should not be snooping around our privacy, our security. And, Mark Cuban, we have Zuckerberg, we have Google weighing in on their support for Apple. But then we also have Trump boycotting Apple products, which is also so ironic. So it brings up about a debate like how much privacy do we have? And it keeps us aware about how much we we really, really don't. The fact that the FBI is so willing to completely.
But this becomes a national security issue. And I think that's why Trump is very clear on his views on the subject. Is it fair of us to deny the communal safety of everyone because we want to keep our phones to ourselves?
And that's also a good point, because you look at it in two different ways. Of course, you would think that unencrypting with one phone would jeopardize everyone's safety. And there's also been some talk, too, about how the FBI went ahead and still reset the iCloud.
It's interesting.
So it seems like they have no limitations. Sorry to interrupt that.
The FBI has no limitations. Yeah, and I think that's what we've got to be a little bit worried about. That's what I'm a little bit worried about, is just having government so involved in my daily life. If Apple or any Apple were to develop the software to unencrypt these phones, that would mean they could go in there, they could access your healthcare records, they could access your financial records, they could actually get into your phone and take control of your camera. So this is how crazy this could get.
I mean, we kind of take things for granted, too, about how much we're putting things out there in the web, in the cloud, so to speak, right? So much of even the most secure things like Social Security. People are documenting so many of their private things, so we do take it for granted. We do kind of forget that, like I said, the big brother is always watching. So
it's interesting because the Apple CEO, I've got a quote here from Tim Cook. While we believe that the FBI's intentions are good, it would be wrong for government to force us to build a backdoor in our products. And so he's clearly stated that, as you said, Apple, Twitter, Google, all these guys are on the same page. But you could get a 15-year-old kid out of China that probably could put together a code to hack this.
That's true.
And does this kind of technology in the wrong hands, okay, granted, probably the U.S. government wouldn't be using it for a lot of negatives, but perhaps they would. Maybe North Korea would. Who puts a pause on this thing once the door's open?
That's a good point. Like you said, technology can really go haywire. It could really go in the wrong hands, and there could be a huge leak in everyone's privacy. So it's a scary. Technology is very scary.
Technology is scary, and I think we've got to realize that technology sometimes is moving quicker than lawmakers can move. We're going to keep an eye on this story here on the Lip TV.